Well, it's the newest, the latest, the greatest, the power rankings. Gentlemen, top 10. Take it away, Chandler.
Are your engines. All right, Lou, here we go. The 10th best team in the NBA right now. We have the Milwaukee Bucks. I think with the addition of Kyle Kuzma, I think he does make them better. He makes them younger. Also, anytime you make a move at the deadline like that, just kind of gives you a fresh face, hope. Kyle Kuzma's always been really good with good players. Put him with Dame, put him with Giannis. I think he's really going to help this team. Eastern Conference, obviously top loaded, but I think this team's going to continue to win games, and they might even move up these rankings.
And at number 9, we're going to go with the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Chandler and I, we did make these picks pre-injury, pre-wheels falling off of the Dallas Mavericks. If we'd have known that all of this was going to happen, we probably would have put a Minnesota or Clippers team right here. But we felt good about Dallas. So they're at number 9 with the power rankings, with the way that that team is built. If they can get healthy, make a push for it, I still like them at number 9. But I think if they can get everybody on the same page, maybe they can get down in the numbers. But it looks like this team is going backwards instead of forward. So right now we got the Dallas Mavericks at number 9.
Number 8, I like going to stay there in Texas. I'm going to go the Houston Rockets. This is kind of my surprise team of the year, right? I'm not really a believer for a championship contender this year, the Rockets, but they're such a young team. They're so well coached. They defend. They can score the basketball. They struggled a little bit late. I think they're 4-6 their last 10 games. There's a lot of teams that made moves at the deadline that I think that made themselves better. Houston kind of stayed there in the same situation, but regardless, they're 13 games over 500. They had a hell of a year, and the way they play, they're going to be a tough out for anybody in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're sliding a little bit, but I like them at 8. And number 7, we have the LeBron-Luka Lakers at number 7. I think this team has the potential to get down in numbers, but right now, I don't see them cracking that top 5 with the way that some of these other teams are playing, that the way that they're trending. I like them at 7. They got to figure out what they're going to do in the interior with the signing of Alex Len and some of these other guys. They're going to have to get production from a lot of places. So for that reason, I'm still unsure about them cracking the top 5. I got Lakers at 7.
At number 6, I got the New York Knicks. I think I would have had them higher if they didn't just get blasted by the Celtics the other day, because it kind of really opened up my eyes that they are a step behind. Also, they're the 5th best offense, the 20th best defense. I would think those two stats would be switched with that versatility, with Josh Hart, OG, Bridges. I feel like they can all guard 1 through 5. They have to find ways to get stops, be a better defensive team, I think, to compete with the Celtics and the Cavs to get out of the Eastern Conference. But the addition of Cat, Jalen Brunson's playing at elite level. They are going to be a tough out as well, because they do have the capability of defending, and offensively, Cat is rolling, Jalen Brunson's rolling. You get guys like Josh Hart having 30 last night, so they're hitting you from different angles. And again, depth is always an issue with this team, but the New York Knicks are a tough team, and they definitely got better.
I like that one. At number 5, let's go with the Memphis Grizzlies, led with Ja Morant, obviously. Then you got Jaren Jackson, who's an all-star this year. Then you got your supporting cast. You got Bane. You got other guys that's giving you good production. G.G. Jackson coming off the bench. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been playing amazing. Give a lot of these young guys credit where it's due. Grit and grind, that's been their identity. That's been who they are this entire time, and that's gotten them in the top 5. That's gotten them in a great position in the Western Conference. I look for this team to make a lot of noise, to be very disruptive in the Western Conference. I got them cracking the top 5 at the top spot at number 5 at plus 3,100.
By the way, I'll say this too. Everyone talks about the Spurs, the Thunder being young. The Grizzlies start Wells and Edey, 2 rookies. They're getting G.G. Jackson. They also are a very, very young team. Number 4, I like the Denver Nuggets. Probably the hottest team in the NBA right now. 7 in a row. Jokic is balling. And again, this is a team that a lot of guys thought the window was closing early on. Me included, to a point. They've turned it around. They're getting a little bit from everything. Jokic is healthy. They're healthy. Their bench is getting more. Christian Brown, is putting up 30 balls the other night. They're starting to figure out their identity. They're starting to get more comfortable. And when you got Jokic doing Jokic things, you are going to win a lot of games. So, hottest team in the league. They're in the 3 seed right now. Don't look now, but they're in the 3 seed. So, Denver Nuggets, I got as the 4th.
I like them at 4. And number 3, that's kind of surprising to us, but I felt like it was appropriate. We got the Boston Celtics coming in at number 3. They've been slow and steady all year. I don't know how they've been able to pull it off, but they've been under the radar kind of. You hadn't heard a lot of storylines, haven't heard a lot of criticism, a lot of things coming out of Boston. They've just been winning, being steady, constantly building. The emergence of Peyton Pritchard. Pritchard's has been a surprise. I still got him as my 6-man pick, but this thing starts with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Those are going to be the heads of the snake. And then you still have those tangible pieces in the Drew Holidays, Al Horfords, Porzingis when he's healthy. They got a lot of different guys that's going to play well. I almost forgot to mention Derek White and the way that he's been playing. This team is groomed and ready to go for a deep playoff run, but we still got 2 teams that deserves more respect than them right now based on the emergence of those 2 teams. So for that, still a very, very dangerous team to come out of the East. I still got them coming out of the East, but right now I got the Boston Celtics at number 3.
Yeah, and it's interesting because obviously the Celtics people still respect, I think, more. I think they're still a team to beat in the Eastern Conference, but you cannot overlook the Cleveland Cavaliers at number 2. They're 43-10. They're a great home team. They're 25-4 at home. They're also a great road team at 18-6. So come playoff time, I don't think this team will get rattled on the road in crazy environments. They're hot right now still. They've won 3 in a row. They also added DeAndre Hunter, which is huge. There's going to be a huge hole to fill with the minivan, the G-Wagon, Georgie Niang now out of there, but DeAndre Hunter is a great pickup for them. He's a 3-and-D guy. He's really expanded his game. He's giving you 19, 20 points a game. And again, when you start looking at the teams they have to go through, the Knicks, the Celtics, DeAndre Hunter is now that guy that can guard those wings that can go and get buckets. So Cavs had a hell of a year. Atkinson, to me, is the runaway coach of the year, what he's done to this team. And they're right now, I think, at the number 2 spot.
And at the number 1, the clear favorite in the Western Conference, led by none other than SGA, you got to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been steady. They've been consistent. Even with injuries and everything that they've gone through, this team hasn't wavered not one bit. And they got stronger at the trade deadline by adding a couple pieces in size and what they need on the interior. So for that reason, this is by far one of the best teams in the league. They're number 1 on our power rankings, just the way that they've been going about business. We love to see the consistency. Cleveland has been consistent, right? But we haven't seen them do it in the postseason. Oklahoma City was one of those teams in the postseason. We could see the potential and where they were going, and they come back this year even stronger. So for that reason, I like them at number 1, Chandler. What's your reason?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they do it all. This is all without pretty much Chet for the entire season. Now you have Chet back, who's kind of their second best player, since he's been there. Jalen Williams, obviously an all-star this year and stepped up his game. But they've added size. They filled every hole they need. They have so many guys, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Mitchell Williams. They have so many deep guys that not the everyday fan would even know who they are. And they just know their role. They play hard. They defend. And they are led by arguably the greatest young leader in all of sports in SGA.
Yep, one of the stars of Team World. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here at Run It Back.